welcome to Money Talk. I'm Jesse Torres.
And I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez.
All right, Aaron. Well, happy Wednesday to you.
I know. Wednesday has turned from hump day to money day for me. I think we should do a hashtag money day.
Hashtag money day. That's it. I love it. I love it. We were talking before we went on air, and a lot of great things continue to happen. Our YouTube channel is starting to pick up steam. Folks are starting to take note. I mean, I know you've gotten a bunch of emails from folks that now want to take us and put them on their platforms, and I've gotten a number of them. And so those that are listening, 2minuteInYourBiz.com, please go out and watch and subscribe. It makes us feel happy. It makes it makes us feel like the time spent on it was worthwhile.
But even on the flip side, I think we've heard some stories of people that have now done even what our first episode was about, activate.
Right.
And I'm hearing that word being used more in other people's language. So activate, if you haven't seen that, go and see our first episode. And I think by the end of that, you will have activated whatever your idea or money idea or business that you've been wanting to push forward or even implement something, you will activate something.
Absolutely. And it's funny because, we talk about how much there is to learn when you're an entrepreneur. I mean, you're literally drinking from the hydrant. Just being an entrepreneur and the techniques and what it takes to keep your head above water and keep your business going, not even considering the technical aspect of whatever business you're in and evolving in the innovation and things of that nature. And so, so it's great when we actually talk about something on our show, including the video show, and you run across someone and they say, I actually did that and it's working great. So I'm excited. Well, so one of our episodes was we talked about the subscription boxes.
Yes, we talked about the subscription boxes, and for those of you that don't know what subscription boxes are, there's a lot of companies coming out now that have subscription boxes, and you get something every once a month in the mail, directly packaged, and it's specially packaged to you. There's been, things from clothes to just glitter.
Right, glitter.
We talked to a company like that.
Glitter, yes.
Yeah, and just, surprise packages. Very interesting.
Do you remember on the show, that on the YouTube channel, do you remember what my package of choice would be?
I don't.
It has to do with nacho
cheese.
Nacho cheese.
They have a nacho cheese one. Different cheeses, right?
I want the different cheeses.
That's
I wanted the nacho cheese subscription pack. So anyway, so this is obviously becoming big and bigger, and so we're going to be speaking to someone in a moment here exactly about that. But I want to kind of just really quickly talk about what we have ahead in the hour. So we're going to be speaking with Michelle McCloskey, and she is the founder of Runaround Betty's, and she's going to be speaking with us about her company and the folks that she uses to help other entrepreneurs get their jobs done. Whether it's things in the business, whether it's things in their personal lives, sort of lending a hand and utilizing those assets. And then we're going to finish the hour speaking with Christopher Varon, the founder of Sportific. And he and his partner launched a pretty cool little application to help bring people together through sport and sport leagues. And so we're
interesting.
We don't often speak sports on the show, and so I love this segment because, as you know, I'm a lifelong soccer player.
Yes.
And so anytime someone comes to me and says, "Hey, sports, blah 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 blah," I say, "Sports back to you, blah blah blah." And so I'm excited about that. Okay. But let's jump into this. So on the phone we've got Ian Tenenbaum, and Ian is the founder of Pawpack. Ian, welcome to Money Talk.
Hey, Jesse, good to be on. Thanks.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, and so, in the spirit of full disclosure, I met Ian actually yesterday. I was a panelist at the Business Fundamentals Boot Camp, and Ian was there attending. We had a great showing. It was a packed house. Ian was there, and Ian came up to me and started telling me a little about his business, and I said, I've got to get you on the show because, again, these subscription boxes and these subscription programs are taking off. So, Ian, before we can sort of get into that, why don't you spend a minute telling us a little bit about your background and how you became an entrepreneur and launched your Pawpack company?
So my background is actually in digital marketing and in advertising. So I spent the last 10 years helping brands from AT&T to Verizon to IKEA help build out their social strategy and also things like experiential marketing, some e-commerce. So About a year ago, my girlfriend and I have, 6 animals, and we're pretty animal obsessed.
Wait.
So-
Cats, dogs? Give us their names.
Okay, hold on. Maybe it's 7 then, actually. So it's 3 cats, Isabella, Stella, and Mr. Whiskers. We've got 2 dogs, Winston and Piper, and we've got a bird. Guess the name. It's called Birdie. And then a horse named Tico.
Lots of thought to that one.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, oh, we got a bird. Done. So, yeah, we had all these animals, and we wanted to start a business, and we were looking at ways to help save rescue animals, actually. And we thought we need a business model that could support, a charitable element. And we've got all these animals, and we're always buying stuff for them, and what if, there's all these subscription boxes. We want to be able to just, not have to always be running around, but just have things show up, the right things, and with a focus on, organic, eco-friendly, the types of stuff we would want to buy for ourselves.
Right. And let's talk a little bit about this whole phenomenon of subscription boxes, because depending on who you speak to and the companies that they go through, you have folks say, I love this. I can't believe we haven't been using this for decades. And then you have others that say, I just didn't like the stuff. I got the grab bag and it just wasn't a very good grab bag. And I can tell you, I actually took one of those grab bags. One time it was it was a baseball cap subscription box or package. And I didn't get the caps that I liked, but I tell you, even when I didn't like the stuff that I got afterwards, the anticipation I had every month of something coming to me,
The excitement.
I mean, it was like Christmas or my birthday every month. And so tell me, in your business now, do you see folks, they kind of maybe do this from a practical standpoint, but then do you see them eventually evolve into little kids and just kind of, they can't wait every month for what's in the box?
Yeah, so, I mean, in our specific sector, that's the biggest driving force is the impact it has on the pet. So there's nothing an animal lover loves more than to see their dog or cat going nuts over some new toy or treat. So even more impactful than the actual owner receiving this thing is the ability to give it and see the joy and happiness it brings. And then the fact that a lot of the things we're providing are actually consumable. So it's toys, it's treats, it's accessories, it's chews. By the next month, a lot of that stuff has either been tore up, destroyed, or eaten. So, they are so excited to just tear into that next month's box.
I love, there's something very interesting about this story, though. You have captured something that a lot of companies have a hard time doing, and that's the emotional attachment. Once they're emotionally attached to, because a subscription service, like some services, you subscribe and then you forget about the subscription. Like I had one with American Greetings, for example. I got 1 month and I forgot it was on recurring, but there was no attachment to me, so it was easier to say, oh, I really need to cancel that, even though it was like $3 a month, but it was still coming out of this. But you've created that emotional attachment, not just from the animal, but the joy. Very interesting. Is that what you try to do in most of your campaigns that you've always taught? Do you try to create that element?
Yeah, you mean from my previous experience working with brands?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I think, there's a trend the last 5 to 10 years that's been accelerating of brands focusing on doing good and then talking about it instead of, and that is becoming critical to their marketing, as opposed to the old school way of saying, how can we create some story? How can we, create some, illusion of good? Brands nowadays, they have to actually do the good first. They have to create something that is going to get people emotional, and then they can talk about it. And it's easier to talk about it when it's real. So the fact that we're providing this, and we have photos and testimonials and people sharing their own stories of experiences, that is kind of just the most organic, authentic type of marketing we could ever generate.
You're absolutely right. And it's so funny how we keep going back to so many of the points that are made. Last week we had a guest, and she is a New York designer, clothing designer, that uses robots to make clothing. And the reason she uses robots is to eliminate waste and to rely less on human labor and sweatshops in third world countries. And so she does a lot of good stuff. But the point that she made, and you just kind of made the point as well, is all this corporate social responsibility stuff, it's all good. It's good stuff. But at the end of the day, people are not going to buy your product just because you're a good corporate citizen. They're going to buy your product because it's a good product. So, so we have folks, because we have had folks on the show that have been doing good things, but maybe their offering is subpar, and in a sense, they were spending a lot of money on this corporate social responsibility to sort of make up for the fact that it just wasn't a great product. It was an okay product. It wasn't a great product. And so I think you kind of touched on a real important point for entrepreneurs out there, which is, do good things, do good by doing good by all means, but make sure you've got a product worth buying, because at the end of the day, no one's going to spend no matter what you're doing out in the community.
Yes, I couldn't agree more.
So now you say you and your girlfriend started this company?
Yeah, we started about a year ago, and we actually launched in June, and it's been like a rocket ship since then.
So let's talk. Let's talk about startup funding. Was this when you started this with her? Was this a friends and family type? Did you bootstrap this between what you all had saved? How did you go about securing the capital to get you off the ground?
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's one step at a time was really the mantra. And I don't know if it was Martin Luther King or someone like that, who there was a quote that says, you don't have to, see where the staircase is going to take the first step type of quote. So that was kind of our philosophy was, we believe in this. We just need enough money to get it started, and we don't have to worry about where it's going. If it works, it's going to work, and we're going to take it from there. And initially I had a full-time job, so we launched on the side. And like most people, I didn't feel like taking a risk, without some type of traction. Once we launched and we saw the response from customers and we saw the emails coming in thanking us and the photos of them with their pets, we said, okay, we're on to something here. I don't know where we're going to be in a year, but I can see where we're going to be in a week or two. Let's start there, and let's just focus all our energy on one step at a time. And that's still where we're at. We're growing fast, and we're looking at potential investments, but we're growing revenue, and we're focusing on taking care of our customers as the first and foremost thing we do.
So, do you mind if I ask, when you bootstrap this thing right out of the gate, what was your budget to get started? Because I think a lot of folks are probably curious.
Yeah. So what was attractive about this type of model was it wasn't capital intensive just to start. We know we're going to, as we're growing now, we're, larger capital requirements, but it was like, maybe $10,000 or $20,000 was enough just to get the ball rolling. And
okay.
then once you have revenue, then it's kind of snowballing itself.
Right. Now, one of the great things about that I love as a observer of business trends is with these subscription boxes or packages is you almost become sort of you can become, and I think a lot of folks do this, an initial introduction to households for a lot of brands. In other words, if I have a new doggy treat that I want to introduce, I would maybe go to these folks and, they would qualify to say, it looks like a good product. We'll go ahead and we'll include it in there as a little sample or whatever it is. Is this something that you're exploring or that you will explore to sort of help you? Because I would imagine going down that road would be beneficial in terms of just having to acquire inventory.
100%. And I mean, that's actually a critical element to our business model is, the exposure for these new brands, the opportunity to put products in physical people's hands and get them to try it. My background in marketing, I did a lot with brands trying to do sampling programs and distribute samples. It could be quite expensive to get hundreds or thousands of people to physically try your product and to talk about it. So that's a huge value we provide, and we're actually building out our marketing services division as well through all of our network of affiliates and social marketing that we've built to promote ourselves. So we can take a brand and get them in people's homes, and we could also get them social content and social buzz.
I do want to talk about that because we as well, we teach social media workshops, and one of them is very huge for companies to implement an affiliate program. But I think you tapped into something that people really need to focus on, and that was the rolling out of the how did you roll it out social media wise? How did you get that known to people and then them referring others?
You mean how do we get the affiliates on board in the first place?
Yes.
Well, that's a luxury. We have had a slightly easier time than other sectors based on the nature of the pet space. So, there are a lot of people who are growing social media presences for their cat, for their dog, who are able to build big audiences because there's so many people obsessed with pets. So, when we launched, I come from that marketing background, so I was already planning on doing a little bit of outreach, contacting some of these folks to get them on board. But we were shocked by how many of those people came to us and said, we want to promote your product. We want to share this with our audiences. Could you send us one to try it out? And then between both efforts, us doing outreach and them coming to us, we started to cultivate these relationships, and it's just gotten stronger and stronger month over month.
Okay, and then my next question is, you mentioned, it is costly to do a campaign where you're giving taste or kind of try this. What should companies look at when they are going to do which is essentially a giveaway, a taster? What are the things, the quick little steps that they need to keep in mind before they actually run that?
Yeah, so the most common type of, you go to the supermarket and people are trying there. That's the closest point of purchase you're going to get, which means as soon as someone tries that, they could literally turn around and buy it within seconds. So, that's the ultimate type of trial that you can literally convert on the spot. And then you start going farther and farther away from there. With an online product, like if we're sampling a dog toy and they could go buy it online, that's also pretty convenient. But I would also think about the audience you're trying to go after and who's most likely to become your most loyal customer, and try to get your product in front of those people. And then the third part is kind of who is going to amplify that message. So who is going to try that product and then tell 10 friends about it, or tell their entire company about it, or tell their entire social network about it. So I think those three principles are kind of key when you're trying to get someone to try something.
Yeah, well, we love this, obviously, and I think you've touched on like Aaron said, you've touched on a segment that really kind of makes this personal. This isn't just a product, something that they like. This is something that's near and dear to them, which is their pets. And so I think it's a great segment to have tapped. I think it's got a lot of ability to grow. We've got another minute here. What is the future for your company? What is your outlook in the near term? What are you seeing? What are you feeling for the company?
So we see a lot of opportunity with adding additional products and services for our customer base. Whether it's a apparel line, our own line of products, collaborations with some of the best manufacturers of products that we work with, as well as building out our marketing services. Coming from a marketing background and being able to build a nice network that has a big reach, we want to be able to leverage that for a lot of our smaller pet brand products, help them get in front of bigger audiences as well.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, Ian Tenenbaum, founder of PawPack, thank you for joining us on Money Talk this afternoon.
Awesome. Great to be here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with more Money Talk after these messages. Money, 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 money.